You're watching Chicago Bears now, just moments after the Bears blowout loss to the Buffalo Bills. And today's show is presented by Magic Spoon. Get $5 off your first order at magicspoon.com/bears. I love the peanut butter cereal, high in protein, 0 grams of sugar. It's absolutely fantastic. Magicspoon.com/bears is the place to go to get $5 off. So this game is mercifully over as the Buffalo Bills come into Soldier Field and blow out the Chicago Bears 41-15 in the Bears' second preseason game. Buffalo improves to 2-0 in the preseason. The Bears fall to 1-1. Mitch Trubisky drops the mic on his former team. We'll talk about him a little bit later on in the show, but he was fantastic. Before we break it down into further detail, what is your one-word reaction to today's game? Get your votes in. Be honest. Be blunt. Let me know how you guys feel about this one. Your one-word reaction to today's game for the Chicago Bears. Before we dive into it a little bit further, though, I want to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/BearsNow. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to give you honest analysis, the truth, good opinions, the latest news, rumors, live watch parties during the season. The link is below, youtube.com/BearsNow. Even when it's bad, like it was today, we're going to break down everything surrounding the Chicago Bears. We'll get to Andy Dalton in a minute, but I want to start with Justin Fields because that's where a lot of the focus is. Played the whole second half. Dalton got the first half, and Fields was okay. I think the stats are a little misleading. Had at least one drop from Rodney Adams. Threw a ball to Jesse James in the end zone that could have been caught, but James jumped a little too early. 9 for 19, 80 yards, 4 carries, 46 yards. The wheels were on display. The O-linemen he was playing behind were bad. You got deep into this offensive line depth chart, it wasn't good. He was running for his life, got clocked one time where his helmet flew off, and I was really concerned, got right back up. He's tough as nails, there's no doubt. He was just all right. Definitely performed better last week, but I think he had a better situation last week overall as well. So a rookie type of performance from Justin Fields. Grade it for me. How would you grade Justin Fields' performance today? A, B, C, D, or F? C, I mean, some good, some not good. Nothing terrible. I'll give it a C. Overall, it was fine. It was passable. I wouldn't say he did anything crazy to necessarily take the job from Andy Dalton, but I do want to see him play with the starters because the starters did not play that well whatsoever. So I'll give him a C, maybe a C+. Bills win 41-15 over the Chicago Bears. That's my quick thought on Justin Fields in his second preseason game. So let's talk about Andy Dalton here in a minute, but first, want to remind you guys of today's sponsor. That, of course, is Magic Spoon. You can get $5 off at magicspoon.com/bears. Guys, this is high protein sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein per serving, 0 grams of sugar, 4 grams of net carbs. It's healthy, it's good for you, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Get back in the cereal game with Magic Spoon because if you're like me and you're trying to shed weight, that mainstream cereal, you can't eat it. It's just too sugary. It's too fattening for you. But Magic Spoon is not. It's the absolute opposite, and it can get you back into the breakfast game at magicspoon.com/bears. Get $5 off your first order. I love the peanut butter flavor, but there's other ones as well. Cocoa, frosty, fruity. They're always launching limited time flavors as well. Go check it out, magicspoon.com/bears. We also have a link in the comments and in the description. Get back in the breakfast and in the cereal game. All right, let's talk about the other quarterback, the one who started, Andy Dalton, who got some boo birds today. Statistically was better than Fields, 11-17, 146 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Both of those kind of misleading, though. Rodney Adams made a hell of a catch on a 73-yard touchdown, pinned it to the defender, took it to the crib. That was really the only big play the first-team offense mustered up. The pick's also misleading, though, to be fair. The receiver fell. I believe that was also Adams. I can't remember, though. But the Bears receiver fell on a deep in route late in the first half, and the ball was picked off. So who knows if he stays up? Is it caught? Is it incomplete? I don't know, but we'll never know because the receiver fell down. Here's what I do know. The first-team offense as a whole struggled. You take away the 73-yard touchdown pass, this team didn't move. 1 or 2 first downs total, that's it. The offensive line is a problem. Elijah Wilkinson cannot be your left tackle. Hopefully Jason Peters, who did not play in this game, can be the answer there, at least serviceable, because Wilkinson is not. Jermaine Ifedi is still down. James Daniels didn't play. So this is not all an Andy Dalton thing, but they couldn't run the football. No David Montgomery today. Damian Williams couldn't get going. Offensive line struggled, and Dalton was just okay when he did have time. So you talk about both the quarterbacks, some mixed bags overall, but the starters definitely struggled today. Who's going to be the Week 1 starter? Type 80 for Andy Dalton, type JF for Justin Fields. The drama continues. I'm sure Nagy's going to get asked about this because the first team struggled to get the ball rolling. But I'll tell you what, man, do I want Justin Fields thrown into the fire if the O-line's not in good form and running from Aaron Donald in Week 1? I don't know. 80 for Andy Dalton, JF for Justin Fields. Maybe Dalton's the sacrificial lamb against L.A. in the season opener. Get your votes in. We got to talk about Mitchell Trubisky, and round of applause, Mitch. I'm sure it felt good. Played the entire first half for Buffalo. Absolutely torched this Bears defense, which I really think is the biggest storyline here, the Bears defense. 20 of 28, 221, and a touchdown. No turnovers in the first half. He would have thrown for over 400 had he played the whole game. Mitch balled out. Shrug emoji. What do you want me to say? I always keep it real. I always keep it honest with you guys. I'm not going to overreact and be like, oh, see, none of it was Mitch's fault in Chicago. It's not on Nagy. That's not true, but what's also true is that Trubisky was the best quarterback on the field today. He deserves props. The Bills coaching staff had a good plan. Quick, easy throws for Trubisky. Take the thinking out of it for him, because when you ask him to think, dissect defenses, second, third reads, that's when he struggles. It was a quick passing attack, get the ball out, and it was very effective, and Sean Desai did not adjust. We'll talk more about the defense in a minute because I have concerns. Rodney Adams, he played well for Chicago, a positive sign. Had that 73-yard touchdown grab, continues to get open and make plays, did have one drop, but overall he was good. 3 catches, 89 yards, and a touchdown. I like what I see from him. He's got a decent chance of making this football team. I really think he does. Jesse James, him and Justin Fields' chemistry continues to be on display. 4 catches, 54 yards, caught a big one from Fields on another throwback play, kind of like we saw last week where it was play action, roll right, throwback left. Big play there, made a nice catch, 4 catches overall for 54 yards. So he was impressive. I like what I saw from Khalil Herbert. Had the one lone rushing touchdown for the Bears. Showed some burst, only got 3 carries, had a couple of nice kick returns as well. I think he will have a role on this football team moving forward. So some good pieces on offense despite overall struggling on that side. But the defense, man, really bad today. And Kendall Vilder got the opportunity to be the number 2 corner opposite of Jalen Johnson. He got picked on. I've said it all offseason. This team needs a number 2 corner. Hopefully it emerges from within, but Vilder was not good in coverage, played way too soft, way too much cushion for these Bills receivers who, by the way, didn't even play Cole Beasley or Stephon Diggs. Josh Allen didn't play either. Vilder was not impressive. The Bears defense as a whole was awful, and I think he's going to be a good coordinator, but Sean Desai just got a wake-up call in his second game calling a defense. He did not adjust. The Bills' plan of attack with Trubisky was just quick, easy throws underneath. He didn't switch to press coverage. He didn't blitz that much. He kind of ran that Chuck Pagano vanilla defense where you just drop 7 and give up the short completions. If you're going to give up 7-yard completions, you add that up, you're going to give up a lot of points because 7 yards at a time, last time I checked, that's a lot of first downs and a lot of driving down the field. This Bears defense stunk. Sure, some guys were out. Roquan didn't play, but man, that was a wake-up call for Sean Desai and this defensive group. They've got to get it together very, very quickly. Who was the Bears' MVP today? Give me a name. I know it's tough. It was a blowout loss. It's not Fields. It's not Dalton. You know what? I think it's Rodney Adams. I think he was the best player for Chicago today. Made the play of the game with that 73-yard grab. That was not an easy catch. It was a good ball from Dalton, but not a great one. Kind of pinned it to the defender's head, a la David Tyree in the Super Bowl several years ago for the New York Giants. But Rodney Adams, I believe, was the Bears' best player today, and he is who I would give the game ball to, although I probably wouldn't give it to anybody because that was an absolute embarrassment. So, luckily it's preseason. Luckily that game's over. Bills win 41-15 over the Chicago Bears. Those are my thoughts, my instant reaction. Hopefully the Bears wake up this week and play much better in the finale against the Tennessee Titans, which will take place next Saturday night. I believe 6 o'clock Central Time. We will see. We will do another live watch party, so make sure you subscribe. Predict the score, Bears, Titans in the preseason finale next Saturday night. Get your score predictions in, and we will see you next time here on Chicago Bears Now.